Okay, we are back. Sorry for the delay, folks. I'm going to turn the floor over to our trustee, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. Okay, so we're going to make, there's 3 items here that we're going to talk about here at the moment. The council's feeling ready to decide on. One is a letter that we received from Oxford Frozen Foods and Ken Thompson. We received a letter, and the letter came out is we're looking to do a study for preliminary, how do we say that? Preliminary design on water and sewer to go across the highway. And we have interested parties, and out of that, so they will be fronting up 50% of this cost from Oxford Frozen Foods and Kent Thompson, and they are willing to cover the additional costs based on some sort of an agreement. So I will take it from there and pass that over.
Thank you, Linda. I understand the agreement is that they're asking for a grant in lieu of taxes for future development should the project proceed, and that they would be granted that credit on their taxes, whatever council decides at the time. I would like to put that through as a motion to approve that request.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a seconder?
Second.
Okay, just for clarification, we're only talking about this study project.
Exactly.
For clarification.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have a question or a comment? Okay, we'll put it to a vote. All those in favor of the motion as made by Councillor Jones, please say aye. Aye. Any contrary minded? Motion carried. Back to you, Linda.
Okay. Next up, we received another letter from the Oxford Seniors Club. So as they're undergoing taking over the property at 31 Ellis Street, there was an ask from the Oxford Seniors Club that town council consider granting annual tax-free status to the property at 31 Ellis Street. So I'm going to pass the floor back over for council to.
So yes, would someone like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that property tax exempt for the Oxford Seniors Club. We pass it.
Okay, can we have a seconder, please?
I'll second that.
Oh, okay, moved by Deputy Mayor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Jones, that we make 31 Ellis Street tax exempt. Any questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor of the motion as made, please raise a hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. Linda, back to you.
All right, this is the final one here. So at one of our meetings here recently, in the last one there in June, there was intent on a motion regarding the land sale on Meadow Lane. We need to tidy that up. The motion didn't actually take. It didn't get carried, some technicalities in that. So we'd like to redo this motion again. For clarity and for formality sake, but also in that we're going to add an insert because there was some land development charges added to this piece of property that the town would owe. So we need to put that in the motion as well. So we'll pass that along.
Thank you, Linda. Let's go to Councillor Black.
Great, I'd like to make that motion. Whereas the town of Oxford, the town, owns certain real property located at Meadow Lane, Oxford, being property identification number 25208695, the Meadow Lane lands. And whereas Oxford Frozen Foods Limited has expressed an interest in purchasing a 150-foot by 85-foot building lot as graphically depicted in the sketch attached hereto, out of the Meadow Lane lands for the purpose of residential housing, which purpose is ultimately beneficial to the financial interests of the town. And whereas Section 55B of the Nova Scotia Municipal Government Act permits the town to sell real property at fair market value when the property is no longer required for municipal purposes. And whereas Town Council, having reviewed the issues with its Public Works Department, has determined that all or substantially all of the Meadow Lane lands are no longer required for municipal purposes. And whereas the town has retained the services of a certified real property appraiser who has valued the proposed building lot at $39,500. And whereas Oxford Frozen Foods has offered to purchase the building lot for an amount of $40,000 plus HST, which is in excess of the appraised value, the offered price. And whereas it is acknowledged that Oxford Frozen Foods has provided land development costs in the amount of $14,232.50 plus HST, and that the town of Oxford will set off that amount from the offered price.
Flip over.
There's more.
Okay, now, therefore be it resolved as follows. The town hereby declares the proposed building lot to be lands which are no longer required for municipal purposes. The town accepts the appraisal as an acute assessment of the fair market value of the building lot. The town hereby agrees to sell the building lot to Oxford Frozen Foods for the offered price, provided, however, that Oxford Frozen Foods bear any and all transaction costs, including without limitation, all legal, surveying, and administrative costs in relation to the migration of the Meadow Lane lands. Number 25208695. The subdivision of the building lot out of the Meadow Lane lands and the conveyance of the building lot from the town of Oxford to Oxford Frozen Foods. The town's mayor and chief administrative officer are hereby authorized, acting together for and on behalf of the town, to take any action, make any decisions, or sign any and all documents necessary to facilitate the transaction contemplated by the foregoing resolution, and without limiting the generality of the foregoing, to retain any required professional service providers, or to consent to same being retained by Oxford Frozen Foods.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, moved by Councillor Black, second by Councillor Jones. You've all heard the motion. Does anyone have any questions?
Question.
Go ahead.
Those dimensions that Council Black just mentioned, that's all the land they're looking for. They're not looking for the rest of the field. Now, I'm assuming that will all be surveyed property, so that
The property, it was certified, like
Right.
we had a appraiser, Malcolm Tisrich.
it's been appraised, but it's never surveyed.
Correct, that's going to be undergoing with this agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
That's on.
It's their
It'll have
cost.
to be, basically it'll have to be, that piece of land will have to be subdivided, because it's gonna be cut too. Okay, as there's two
Yeah.
lines go through that field. Okay.
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay,
Mhm.
any other questions or comments? Okay, you've all heard the motion as as presented by Councillor Black. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Contrary minded? Motion carried. Linda, anything else?
No, that's it for business.
Okay, thank you, Linda. This meeting's adjourned. Good night, everybody.